Prudent Scholars in association with Goa Headmasters Association.
Hello everyone. I wish a very pleasant day to all. Today, let's learn a science topic, that is sources of energy. Already in the first session, we have learnt about energy, different forms of energy, conventional and non-conventional sources of energy. Under conventional source of energy, we have already learnt about thermal energy and hydel energy. And in today's class, we will learn little extra and new things. Firstly, we will study about biomass. As you all know, wood, cow dung are used as a fuels. You have learnt fuels are those substances which on burning produce heat and light. These fuels were used since many years, and these fuels are obtained from plants and animals. And these fuels form what is called as biomass. I repeat, biomass is the waste material or the dead remains of plants and animals. You can see different sources of biomass, which include sewage, then agricultural waste, which is seen in the fields, then forest and crop residue, then industrial waste, animal excreta or animal dung, and municipal solid waste. All these are the sources of biomass. I repeat, biomass is the waste material or the dead remains of plants and animals. You know about wood and cow dung. So this wood and cow dung belongs to biomass fuels. They are called as biomass fuels. When these fuels are burnt, they produce lot of smoke. At the same time, the heat which is produced by this fuel is very less. Because of this point, that they were producing less heat and there was lot of smoke which was given out, there was a need to improve the efficiency of this fuel. Therefore, there was a need to improve efficiency of this fuel by incorporating some technological inputs. Now what happens when wood is burned? Whenever wood is burned, in the limited supply of oxygen, the water and the volatile substance present inside this wood is removed out, and we get what is called as charcoal. Already students, you have learned about fossil fuel and the different examples under it. Now here I am talking about conversion of wood. After burning, we get charcoal. After we burn the wood in the limited supply of oxygen, we get charcoal. You can see in the picture, it's a picture of a charcoal which is obtained after burning the wood. Now why we have to compare this? Why we compare between wood and charcoal? There it is said charcoal is quite better or a good in fuel efficiency compared to wood. Now, what is the comparison between these two? First point, charcoal burns without flame. Whenever charcoal is burned to produce heat, it is burning without flame. Secondly, it is comparatively smokeless compared to wood. Compared to wood, when charcoal is burnt, it does not produce more smoke. And a very important point is that charcoal has higher heat generating capacity. When charcoal is burned, it produces more heat. So this is the comparison between wood and the charcoal. Now coming to the biomass, we have seen biomass is a waste material or the dead remains of the plants and animal. In other words, it is all the components like sewage, animal waste, agricultural waste, etc. Now this biomass, when it is decomposed, you have already learned decomposition refers to the breakdown or converting. So when this biomass is decomposed by anaerobic microbes, I repeat, anaerobic microbes, those microbes or microorganism which does not need oxygen. These anaerobic microorganism result to produce what is called as biogas. So from the biomass, which is all the waste material or the dead remains of plants and animal, we get a useful component which is called as biogas. Now, this biogas is popularly known as a gobar gas, since the starting material is cow dung. In India, we know our country is an agricultural country. Farmers have a very high position because they are the ones who provide us with our food needs. Now, in this country of agricultural arena, we have to remember the gobar gas which we get from the livestock animals is utilized to produce biogas. Here, I want to stress upon biomass and biogas. All the waste material, which is also called as biomass, is converted into biogas. Now, let's see what is the composition of this biogas. This biogas is a mixture of different gases that include methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, hydrogen sulfide, and a little amount of water is present in it. This biogas is produced in a biogas plant. Already in the first session, you have seen different types of power plants or plants where energy is produced. Now, we are going to see and learn about biogas which is produced in a biogas plant. Biogas plant has a large underground tank which is made up of bricks and cement. You can see in the diagram which is also there in your textbook, one of the very important diagram. This biogas plant has a tank which is made up of bricks and cement. The lower part of this tank is called as digester. Now already you have learnt about digestive system. This digestion means actually the breakdown. Okay, so in this digester the breakdown takes place. Also it has the upper part which is in a shape of a dome. It is in the shape of a dome like a semicircular, which has a gas outlet. It has a gas outlet through which gas comes out of this biogas plant. On one side of this is mixing tank. You can see in the picture, on one side there is a mixing tank, on the other side there is a overflow tank. Now this is the setup of biogas plant. You can see a picture of a biogas plant set up in a field. How this biogas plant produce biogas? Firstly, all the waste material along with animal dung is mixed with water in the mixing tank and a slurry is prepared. I repeat, students, please remember, biomass is all the waste material including animal waste which is mixed with water and then it is passed on to the next part which is called as digester, and this mixed part is called as slurry. In the digester, the slurry is decomposed by anaerobic microorganisms and after a few days biogas is produced. So in the digester there are very fine microbes which are seen decomposing this slurry. They are anaerobic microbes which decompose the slurry and they produce biogas after few days. Now the gas is taken out through the gas outlet and it is used for heating and lighting purpose. So the use of this biogas is very important. This biogas is used for heating purpose at the same time for lighting purpose. What is done with the remaining slurry? in the biogas plant, once the biogas is produced, the slurry, whatever remains in the biogas plant, is used as a manure, as it is very much rich in nitrogen and phosphorus, and it is put in the field so that plants or the crops can grow very well. Now, biogas is said to be as an excellent fuel. This is said to be an excellent fuel because it contains around 75% of methane in it, which improves its fuel efficiency, or it helps in the burning, or it provides lot of heat. It burns without smoke, it leaves no residue, and it is used for lighting purpose, and also the slurry is used as manure. And a very important point, I would say, it helps to dispose the waste. So this biogas is actually obtained from the biomass, which is all the waste material. Students, now we will see about next form of energy, that is wind energy. Unequal heating of the land mass and water bodies by solar radiation generates air movement, and this results in winds to blow. Everybody knows about the wind. It's the moving air, and this is produced when there is unequal heating of the land and water. Wind energy is used in the windmills, which converts kinetic energy of the wind into mechanical or electrical energy. Basically, the wind energy from the winds is used in the windmills. The windmill helps, or it converts the energy as to give electrical energy. The kinetic energy of the wind can be used to do mechanical work, that is for lifting the water from the wells, for grinding grains in the flour mills. Wind energy is also used to rotate the turbines of generators to produce electricity. Now this is what you have already learned, the basic concept which explains that the energy rotates the turbines to produce electricity, and same is used also in the thermal power plant, also in the hydel power plant, and also in the wind energy. So this energy, wind energy, rotates the turbines of the generator to produce the electricity. As you can see in the picture, it's a picture of a windmill which is producing wind energy, which in turn is used to produce electricity. A single windmill produces only a small amount of electricity. A large number of windmills erected in a large area is known as a wind energy farms. So, one single windmill cannot provide us with lot of electricity or electrical energy. So, wind energy farms are set up so that a large amount of energy will be generated. Let's see the merits and demerits, that is advantages and disadvantages of this wind energy. Firstly, it is a renewable source of energy, which means it will be continuously available to us. It means it is renewable, which means it is continuously available to us. It does not cause pollution. In other words, it is not harming the environment, and that means it is eco-friendly. And the recurring cost is also lost. The cost which is required to recur this setup is very minimum, or it is negligible. Let's see the disadvantages, the shortcomings why we cannot set this wind energy farms everywhere. The first point is that wind is not available at all times. It requires a large area of land. A big area is required to set up these windmills. Very important point, a minimum wind speed of 15 km per hour is required. We cannot set up these windmills in any area where the wind speed is very low. We have to have minimum wind speed of 15 km per hour. Now, we had done with the biomass and the wind energy. Let's go to the next part, that is non-conventional sources of energy. This non-conventional source of energy are also called as alternate source of energy. At the same time, they are the modernized way of generating electricity, which include solar energy, ocean energy. Under ocean energy there is tidal energy, there is wave energy, there is ocean thermal energy, etc. Also geothermal energy and nuclear energy are included under this non-conventional source of energy. Let's see the first one, that is solar energy. As you all know, sun is the ultimate source of energy, and solar energy is the energy obtained from the sun in the form of heat and light. Sun provides us with heat as well as light. Now, looking at the heat energy, certain devices or appliances are designed which utilize the heat energy of the sun. For example, solar cooker, solar water heater, solar furnace, etc. And there are some devices or appliances which utilize the light energy or which use the light energy of the sun. Example, solar cells. Here are some of the solar devices which are working on by using the solar energy, that is solar water heater. Then we can charge the torch with the help of the solar cells and panels. Then we have solar furnaces, and even we can charge our mobiles using the solar cells. Also solar panels are used for lighting purposes. So nowadays n number of devices are designed which are using exclusively solar energy. You might have seen this because people nowadays prefer this type of appliances in their homes. This is solar cooker. It is a box type solar cooker, and it has an insulated box which is painted black inside. Now students, you have already learnt that black color absorbs more heat. That's the reason this solar cooker, inside the insulated box, it is painted black. Secondly, it is covered by a glass plate. On top you can see there is a glass plate which allows heat to enter inside this solar cooker, and it traps the heat inside it. So this glass plate is there to trap the heat inside, and it will keep the heat engaged inside only. It does not allow the heat to escape out from that box. So that is the use of the glass plate. Next you have mirror. You can see there is a mirror which helps to reflect more of sunlight into the box. It has a mirror to reflect more sunlight into the box. Food to be cooked inside this solar cooker is kept in the containers, and around 100 degree to 140 degree of temperature is maintained in the solar cooker. So nowadays people prefer using this, which is very beneficial. So this is the first type of device which utilizes the heat energy of the sun. Next we have solar cells. Solar cell is a device which converts solar energy into electrical energy. Solar cell is a device which everybody knows. Nowadays, if a project is told to be done for students, you all run and you try to find out solar related things. So solar cells are one of the very important things which people are aware of. And this solar cell is a device which converts solar energy into electrical energy. Now, the solar cells are made up of semiconductor material like silicon, germanium, gallium, etc. Now, what does this semiconductor material means? This means those are the special materials which have the property of conductors as well as the insulators. For example, of silicon, germanium, gallium, these things or these materials are used to form the solar cells. A single solar cell produces a voltage of about 0.5 to 1 volt, and it produces about 0.7 watts electricity. So one single cell can produce around 0.5 to 1 volt voltage, and it can give electricity of 0.7 volts. Now, so several solar cells are arranged in a solar panel. A single cell, when it is clubbed with many cells, it is going to form a solar panel. Solar cells are arranged in a solar panel to produce more electricity. Let's see some of the advantages and disadvantages of these solar cells. First point, we will see the good points or the merits or the advantages of using solar cell. It uses renewable source of energy. In other words, it is renewable. It can be continuously used. As you all know, sun is the ultimate source and it is free of cost and it is available every time. It produces electricity which does not cause pollution. I repeat, it does not cause pollution. Solar cells, in other words, we can say they are eco-friendly or they are non-polluting. They do not harm the nature or the environment. It can be used in remote areas where there is no power supply. Wherever the power supply is not possible in the villages, these solar cells can be used. So these are the advantages or the merits of solar cell. Now coming to the shortcomings or the disadvantages. It uses a special grade of silicon which is expensive. This special grade of silicon which is used to make this solar cell is very costly or expensive. Also, there is a silver metal which is used in the solar cells for interconnecting the cells. To have the interconnections in the solar cell, silver is used, which is also again an expensive metal. Students, let's see the uses of solar cells. Solar cells are used for many scientific and technological applications. Also, artificial satellite space probes like Mars orbiter, they use these solar cells. You can see in the picture of satellite which had these solar cells in the form of arranged together as a solar panel. Also, you can see many advanced devices which are used in day-to-day life. That is, this is the camera, CCTV what we say, which is totally working on the usage of solar cells or solar panels. These are the things or these are the uses of the solar cells. Also, radio and wireless transmission system and TV relay stations use these solar cells. Also, these solar cells are used in the traffic signals, in the calculators and in many toys. So, we have covered up certain points which we will quickly revise. The key points covered in today's session. 1. We have seen conventional source of energy, that is biomass. We have also seen biogas which is obtained from the biomass. We have seen the working of biogas plant, the setup and how it produces the biogas. Then we had seen about the wind energy farm, advantages and disadvantages of this wind energy. Also, under non-conventional source of energy, we have studied about solar energy. We have seen the devices which use the solar energy, that is solar cooker and solar cell. And lastly, we have seen advantages and disadvantages of the solar cell. And last was the use of solar cell in our day-to-day life. Now, these were the points which we have covered. Students, you have to make a note of the portion which is deleted from this lesson for this year only. Only for this year, these topics are deleted from the lesson, that is energy from the sea, geothermal energy, nuclear energy, environmental consequences, and how long will an energy source last us. So these topics are not included this year in your science syllabus. Now, some of the probable questions which can be asked for your exam from this lesson. You can have question for 1 mark, that is questions like this. A biogas is an excellent fuel. Why? You are supposed to write down for at least 1 mark. You should write minimum 2 points, maximum it is up to you. Then second question, write any 2 characteristics of good source of energy. So you are supposed to write the points which tells us that a particular source of energy is very good or it is a very best source. Then third one, many thermal power plants are set up near coal or oil field. That's a give reason. So like this type of questions can be asked in your paper or in your science question paper. Fourth is, why is charcoal better fuel than the wood? It's basically a comparison question. Fifth, write any 2 uses of solar cell. So these are the questions which can be asked for 1 mark. Also, there can be question for half mark in the form of fill in the blanks. First one, an example of greenhouse gas is dash. Dash is used for interconnection of the cells. So this type of questions can be asked in your exam. And one of the very important diagram from this lesson is about biogas plant. So a question can be asked as draw a neat diagram of a biogas plant and label digester and slurry. This is just a example of a questions which are asked. It can be asked to label any part. So diagram with the correct labeling is a must, which carries 2 marks. So at the end, I would like to say, save energy, save earth. That is the only motive and objective which we should have. And I thank everyone. Thank you.